Yo, 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 what is good? 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 Um, just give me if you whoever's in the chat right now, can y'all just tell me if you guys can hear me or not? I haven't gone live in a bit. I just want to make sure all my settings are good. So, um, whoever's in here, can y'all just tell me if I can hear me? Or I know y'all can see the screen because I'm watching it myself right now. I just want to know if you guys can hear me now. So just let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat below. Whoever is in here with me. 1 second, bro. Shoot, 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 shoot. Saying Kevin O'Connor updated his board. I did not know he had Stefan Castle at number 1. That's what's up. I'm just gonna wait for some more people to join in, and then we're gonna start the stream here. Uh, just wait for some people to hop in. Shoot. Okay, I think we should be. I think we should be good. I think our audio and everything is good. All right, all right. I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Um, and whoever joins will join. So this is the official because I made a video about the draft a while ago. I think like a month ago, something like that. This is like an updated version. This is like an official preview of what I think the Heat should do. My predictions for what I think they will do. We had a list of players who worked out with the Heat. Now, obviously, workouts don't mean that they're gonna draft that player, but it's still nice to know, who they worked out and stuff like that. So we're gonna be just going through the draft. From a Miami Heat fan perspective. So, as you guys can see, this is Kevin O'Connor's big board. I like to use it on this channel because a lot of people who do not watch college basketball can kind of understand what each player does. This is very, very good to understand, what their strengths and weaknesses each prospects is. And if you do not, really watch college basketball or aren't in tune with college basketball like that, this is a really good source. So shout out to Kevin O'Connor for this. But um, we're going to kind of look at some of the people that have been linked and rumored with the Miami Heat. So obviously we have the 15 picks, so we're going to scroll down a little bit over here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Das. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Favorite Heat channel. That's much love. I'm smiling really hard right now that you said that. But so one one like player that has been linked with the Heat that I'm not really sure, if there is even a chance of us getting him is Nikola Topic, um, from Red Star Belgrade. He obviously played at Mega before, this year, but uh, Nikola Topic is a guy who is coming off of an ACL injury. Has had multiple knee injuries in the past year, coming off an ACL injury, and a lot of people have been mocking him to fall low end of the lottery and even outside of the lottery. Now, I don't think it's gonna happen, but for what it's worth, let me scroll down a little bit so you guys can see. For what it's worth, Nikola Topic, if he is available at number 15, this is a no-brainer of a pick, an absolute no-brainer of a pick. Um, very, very, you know, easy pick right there if he's available at number 15. Let me just see who else is up here. So I don't think any of these guys are falling. Reed Shepard could, but I just don't think he has really a chance to fall to 15. I don't think Tobic will fall to 15 either. But on number 7 and number 8, on Kevin O'Connor's big board, we have two players that I think have a pretty realistic chance to fall to number 15, and that is Jared McCain and Devin Carter. Um, I think the Heat are getting Tristan da Silva. I wouldn't be surprised, Daz. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. I mean, Tristan da Silva is a really good player. Reminds me a lot of like a faster Kyle Anderson, like very very high IQ, just doesn't really make too many mistakes. Um, and I think he's a better shooter than Kyle Anderson, but plays very similar to him. Kind of plays at his own pace. But he's really really high IQ. Um, and he can kind of be like a point forward at times. So I like that pick. I wouldn't be mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind that pick at 15. They didn't work him out, which is interesting. But I mean, they also didn't work on Nikola Jovic in 2022. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But coming back to Jared McCain and Devin Carter, if you guys do not have not watched both these guys, most of y'all will probably be familiar with Jared McCain. He's pretty famous online and stuff like that. This dude is the best shooter in the class. So you have the best shooter in the draft over here, 6'2", uh, pretty good playmaker, like it says right here, savvy sense for playmaking. But he's gonna be a pull up slash catch and shoot player. Now, Jared McCain wouldn't be terrible, but the reason I'm against it is because you already kind of have a guy in Tyler Hero who does very similar things to Jared McCain. I think Jared McCain is kind of like a shorter Tyler Hero, if you guys want to put it that way, because Tyler Hero is obviously 6'5". I don't know, if it would be kind of redundant having Jared McCain and Tyler Hero. Obviously, I'm kind of in the camp of trying to move on from Tyler Hero this summer, but I just don't really see a realistic option to do so. So for that reason, I think he's going to be on the squad next year. So if he's on the team, it doesn't really make much sense for me to draft Jared McCain at number 15, who kind of does a lot of the similar things that Tyler Hero does. Can't really defend anything either, and isn't really a good at rim finisher, but can definitely shoot the ball really well. My favorite pick for the Miami Heat is none other than Devin Carter. He's from Miami. Not that it makes a difference where he's from, but that's just an added bonus, I guess. He knows the area and stuff like that. If y'all factor in that, but he has a dad who's played in the NBA, a dad who's had ties with the Miami Heat, Anthony Carter. AC, shout out to AC. And he plays really really like a veteran. This is a guy who Devin Carter is a very, very winning type of player. Like, this is a guy that every championship team would love. The prototypical Josh Hart, Bruce Brown, like the guy who's just gonna be all over the place. Devin Carter might go in the lottery. You're not wrong, Dash. We're not wrong. I don't think he's a lock to fall out of the lottery, but he definitely has a chance to fall out to number 15. I did hear from Devin Carter. I think it might have been from either Devin Carter himself or from somebody else that he had received a promise to go in the lottery. So a team had already promised him that they would take him with the lottery pick. Now, again, just because they promised him doesn't mean it's going to happen, but just for what it's worth, he might not fall to 15 because a lot of people have been really impressed with his game. Now, before the combine, I think nobody had him in the lottery, but I've always liked his game, even since before the combine, since I watched him all year. But since the combine has happened, like he's gotten a ton of buzz because of his, testing in the combine. He tested really well, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he went lottery. I mean, I don't think a team like Chicago, OKC, Sacramento, I don't think it's unrealistic for any of those teams to take him. I think it is unrealistic for a team like Portland, who has a ton of guards, to take him at 14. Um, but yeah, I do think that he has a chance to go in the lottery. If we don't draft Devin Carter, who would be my second target? We're gonna get to that, bro. We're gonna get to that, Des. Um, Zachary Sachet, I'm not the biggest fan of Zachary Sachet, but I think he's not gonna fall to 15. There's no way. I also saw Rob Dillingham mocked to the Heat by it might have been Kevin O'Connor himself, but just I don't really think there's a chance. I think I have Rob Dillingham going top 5. I think he's a electric player, Darius Garland type, really really good. I don't really think there's a chance of Rob Dillingham going that low. Who would I have going at 15? We're gonna get to him. Tajon Saloon is a guy that I've seen people like, or Saloon, whatever you want to say. I think it is Salon. So I'm gonna say Salon. Very, very like kind of rangy shooter who has really good, defensive versatility. He's like a prototypical, 3 and D who can, handle the ball a little bit. Pierre traded for Stephon Castle. You're gonna have to trade up a lot to get Stephon Castle because the way his draft buzz is going, he might be going top four. Um, so and I'm not really sure. I mean, the only team that really is looks to be willing to trade their pick is Houston, and I'm not sure if Houston would trade us their third pick as well. We give them so. Um, maybe we can trade and get Stephon Castle, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Dalton Connect is interesting if you want shooting. He's like the Max Struess type player. I like that comp. Ron Holland is I think a lot higher than 13 if you're talking about draft um draft big board. He's really good. Like I don't think he's I have him top four. I have him top three. So Detroit also at five. Um, yeah, Detroit could trade their pick, but I don't know if they would because they're in a rebuild, right? So if a guy like Reed Shepard or Zach Risache falls to number five, I think Detroit, who needs shooting, will take him. Cody Williams, another project pick. I don't like him at 15. I don't think he's gonna fall to 15 either. I really like Bub Carrington. He's a bucket. He's an absolute bucket getter. But again, I think it's a little redundant when you already have a guy like Terry Rozier on the team. Um, I really like Jacoby Walter. Um, Jacoby Walter is a guy who can play off the ball. He can play on the ball. Um, and he's a really like silky scorer. I like the Chris Middleton comp. He actually reminds me of his Baylor teammate, or I don't know if actually they didn't even play together. Keontae George. He reminds me of Keontae George. I'm not a huge Zach Edey guy. I'm not a huge Zach Edey guy at all, to be honest. Like, I mean, not that I don't like him, but I've said it multiple times. Zach Edey is not a good fit next to Bam Adebayo. I mean, he can't shoot. So, I mean, what's the point? You're going to have two centers playing next to each other. I know Bam can play the four, but Bam can't shoot the ball at a consistent level from three. So, you're really going to be clogging up the paint. And if you keep Jimmy around, I mean, that's the worst spacing front court in NBA history, potentially. So, I like Bub. Yeah, I do too. Bub, I was on Bub Carrington. Anybody who follows me on Twitter will know I've liked Bub since last year November December. So I mean I've been on that train for a while, but he's just starting to get his buzz. Somebody asked me, I think Daz asked me, who would I like if it's not Devin Carter? I like Khalil Ware. I like Isaiah Collier. Um, need a Rui Hachimura Naz Reid type next to Bam. Yeah, you need a guy who can shoot the ball, man. You need a guy who can shoot the ball and defend. I mean, ideally, like I like John Collins. If he's on the trade market, I would try to go get John Collins, but not sure if what Utah's going to do with him. I like Isaiah Collier and Khalil Ware. I think these are two guys who can realistically go at 15. Uh, if a guy like Devin Carter's off the board, Khalil Ware, the Miles Turner comp is interesting. I mean, he's. I'm not a huge fan of Khalil Ware shooting like a lot of people are, just because I haven't really seen it. Like he shot the ball pretty well from three in college basketball. Too much money for John Collins? Yeah, probably, bro. I think you're probably have to. Yeah, I think he makes Duncan Robinson money, so you probably have to give up Duncan Robinson for that. Rui Hachimura wouldn't be bad though. But Naz Reid is not going anywhere. I think he's a Timberwolf for a long time. But yeah, Khalil Ware, the shooting numbers were really good. I mean, he shot at a high percentage, but the only problem is he didn't really shoot too many. Like his the sample size wasn't that great. So I'm not sure if I buy the shooting as much. Motor Das is not the biggest concern to me. I think that's fine, but at the same time, I think the only reason I'm concerned is the fit next to Bam. I think if you want a center in this draft to put next to Bam, we'll get to him. And Khalil Ware is one of the options, but I like another guy a little better. Who are we salary dumping? Tyler and or Duncan too? Um, Salary dumping for who? John Collins? If it's John Collins, we're not trading Tyler, and I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't trade Duncan either. But if you're talking about just in general, I think Tyler Hero probably you know should be the one to go just because he has more value. Yeah, Isaiah Collier. Getting back to him, um, the only knock on his game is that he really can't shoot the ball. But apart from that, I think he has everything else. He can get to the basket really fast. He's a good defender when he's engaged. The If you're talking about motor, his motor is also a little questionable. So I'm not sure if the Heat will go for a guy like Collier or Khalil Ware, just because they have had motor concerns. But Collier more so than Khalil Ware because Collier was a consensus top 5 prospect in the draft. Um, Tyler, somebody mentioned Tyler Kolek. Daz mentioned Tyler Kolek. I like Tyler Kolek a lot, and I'm glad that he's getting his respect from Kevin O'Connor because too many people have him going in the second round. I think he's a for sure first rounder, man. Tyler Kolek is a for sure first rounder. I mean, if he falls to 43, that's an absolute blessing for any team, for the Heat. But I would even consider him taking him at 15. That's how good I think he is. Um, Another guy who's just a winning player. He's a dog. He's gonna talk to you. He talks a lot of trash, and he'll back it up on the court. He's a leader. He's a floor general. He's crafty. Um, he just has the whole repertoire on his scoring, offensive game, playmaking. He's not the most athletic guy. He's not the biggest player, but he'll make up for that with his grittiness, which is why I really like his fit with Heat culture. Um, Tristan da Silva, who Daz mentioned, is probably another guy that I really like with the Heat. Um, again. I mean, shoot. Kevin O'Connor had the same comp as I did. I had Kyle Anderson as well with Tristan da Silva. I think he's very, very similar to Kyle Anderson. A little faster, but he's going to be able to find a way to contribute no matter what. Devin Carter, Kolek, and da Silva are my 3 favorite players on the Heat or for the Heat. Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I would throw in Isaiah Collier. Um, but yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree with you there. Nikola Jurisic, it's more of another project pick. I've seen a lot of people talking about Yves Missy. The only problem with Yves Missy is I really like Yves Missy's athleticism, and I like the fact that he can, protect the rim and he can run the floor pretty hard. Um, the only issue with Yves Missy is he literally might be the worst shooter in the draft. I'm playing COD. I'm trying to focus on your video. Oh man, Mari, you getting those kills, bro? You better be getting a win. Keep going. Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. Deron Holmes, you spoiled my next player that I wanted to talk about. Uh, he's my favorite, fit for bigs with the Heat. If you guys didn't catch along, but he's missy. He just can't shoot. That's the only problem. I think he shot like 36% from the line. Didn't shoot the three ball at all. You can't really play a guy like that next to Bam. I mean, as a backup center, he provides a lot of energy, so I wouldn't mind that. But I don't believe in taking a backup center to your All NBA center at number 15. Like I think there's a lot other needs that you can fill. If you're trying to take a big at number 15, it should be a guy who can play next to Bam instead of a guy who can back him up. Because I don't think we had much problems in that department. I think Kevin Love did a pretty solid job. Um, Obviously in the Celtics series he struggled, but for the whole year he was pretty good. Um, Pacome Dadier, I like his game. Another project pick though. Trenton Flowers, same thing. This guy has really not gotten his love, and honestly, he might be the player that I think fits the best next to Bam in this draft, and that's Tyler Smith. Man, Tyler Smith is an absolute stud. I love his game. This has shades of Charlie Villanueva. I I will compare him to like a left-handed PJ Washington. He can shoot the ball really well at 6'9". He can finish at the rim. He's really athletic. I really like his game out of the G League Ignite. Um, he legit 6'9", 6'10", can play four, can play four, can even play small ball five. The other guy who's like Embiid but not Edie. Who's like Embiid in this draft, bro? I mean, if there's a guy like Embiid, let me know because he might be the number one pick. Kyle Filipowski, you think is like Embiid, Michael? Shoot, I mean, for his sake, I hope you're right, but I don't see it. Uh, Tyler Smith, though, yeah, Tyler Smith, man, this dude is an absolute stud. Um, he's really good. He's really really good. Out of him, out of all the bigs in the draft, I think he is the best fit next to Bam Adebayo. Him and Deron Holmes, and probably Kyle Filipowski are the 3 best fits. The only thing about Kyle Filipowski's game that I don't like, coming to him next, is the fact that I really think that his game is all reliant on his shooting. Like he can't really do anything else besides shoot the ball. Um, he can handle the ball pretty well for his size, but he can defend, and he's had concerns with his motor as well. So that's the one thing about Kyle Filipowski. I'm a little low on Kyle Filipowski, But if you're talking about guys that can stretch the floor, you have him as an option. The only reason I would push back on Kyle Filipowski is he would do a lot of similar things to Nikola Jovic. So because of that, um, I don't really think it's worth taking Kyle Filipowski at 15. But Tyler Smith, on the other hand, would be a lot more versatile. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. He can defend. He can finish at the rim really well. He just can't really post up. But apart from that, I think he has a total package offensively. Um, Johnny Furphy, Johnny Furphy, um, another guy who's like a Trey Murphy, Cam Johnson. If you guys value shooting, this is one of the guys in this draft for you. Really, really good catch and shoot threat. I'm not sure if he's worth taking at 15, but he's an option for sure. Um, Deron Holmes. Deron Holmes is one of my favorite players in the draft. What should Heat target in the first round? Guard, wing, or center? I think they should take the best player available. I think they should target whoever the best player available is. I think they should target him. Um, I think we're just at the point where no matter what position we acquire, we need talent, man. We need talent, and we're gonna look at this team needs page by Zach Cram after this. But we need talent more than anything. We just need some guys who can just be on the floor for us during playoff games and play key minutes for us. So whoever the best player available is, I think we should go take him. Whether a guy like Nikola Topic really falls to 15 or Devin Carter, anybody like that, I would definitely take the best player available. But Deron Holmes, coming back to him, he is a really, really good fit next to Bam. If y'all who want somebody who can play next to Bam, this guy has no weaknesses in his game offensively, in my opinion. I buy his shot a lot more than I buy Khalil Ware's, or definitely more than Zach Edey's, but probably not as good as Filipowski's or Tyler Smith's, but he can definitely shoot the ball. He can switch. I think 3 through 5 he can guard pretty well. Um, uh, and yeah, and he's a really good fit, man. I really like Deron Holmes with the Heat. Can defend, he can finish at the rim, can catch lobs. Um, I absolutely love Deron Holmes' fit with the Miami Heat. And the guy below him, who I don't think is getting any buzz at all, but needs to get a lot more buzz, is Jalen Tyson. Jalen Tyson. I mean, Jalen Tyson is just a guy who, I mean, I just think screams Heat culture, man. He just screams Heat culture. I mean, this is a guy who his versatility is his game, and this says Jared Dudley. This says Ryan Gomes. Caleb Martin, who is a guy that the Heat have right now and might lose in free agency, is the comp that I have for him. Um, I mean, he is very versatile. He's 6'5", so he's not the biggest, but he can defend. He can shoot the ball. His shooting has improved. He can finish at the rim. Um, and he did have a high usage at Cal, but this is a guy that I think can be off the ball. So yeah, man. I mean, I really do like Jalen Tyson's game. I mean, if Caleb Martin indeed does walk in free agency, um, if he walks in free agency, Jalen Tyson could be a really good option to replace him. But I don't know if I take him at 15. If he falls to 43, I definitely take him. But apart from that, Jalen Tyson is an absolute stud. I would definitely consider taking him in the second round if he falls. Uh, I've seen people talking about Keyshawn George or Keyshawn George. I know a lot of people are familiar with him in the Miami area. He went to the U. He's good, man. He's good. He's kind of like a point forward. I kind of compare him to like a Kevin Knox. Um, Pretty good prospect. Wouldn't take him, in with at 15 or probably 43, just because I think he's like more of a project pick. Um, but I skipped over AJ Mitchell. I don't know how I could do that. AJ Mitchell is a very good point guard, by the way, combo guard. I like the Andrew Nemhard pick comparison. If you guys want to kind of compare him to Andrew Nemhard, he would be a guy I would consider taking in the second round. Um, and then KJ Simpson is a guy who's a veteran PG out of Colorado. Um, and KJ Simpson is a guy who's like he's a dude who can really just take over a game. Like I think he hit a game winner against Florida. He's a little undersized. Um, so that's the only kind of knock to his game is he can't really defend, to be honest. But um, offensively, complete package again. Very, very good offensively. He's just steady. He's just a steady player. He actually reminds me a lot of Andrew Nemhard as well. Um, Kevin McCullough, I don't think will fall to 35, but a really, really well-rounded player. Um, and yeah, I mean Kevin McCullers. I mean, there's no way he falls to 35. I mean, he was hurt for the tournament, so a lot of people didn't watch him play. But he's like the Jaime Jaquez of this year's draft. I mean, if you guys want to put it that way, uh, it definitely won't fall to 43. Also, Iguodaro has a chance to fall to 43. Um, and he's a guy who very reminds me a lot of like Precious Achua. Um, he can definitely, he has bounce. He can definitely pass the ball too. He has an underrated ball handler as well. Precious Achua, Al Horford, even some people compared him to Bam. I don't think he has the same rim protection or not rim protection. What is it called? Ball handling as Bam, but he can definitely pass the ball and his versatile defensively. Um, so also Iguodala is really good. I like also Iguodala's game a lot. Terrence Shannon, Terrence Shannon, he's my guy. He's from Illinois, so huge fan of his game. Connect or Devin or Tyler. But so he's be someone we have no idea. Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna be able to predict where we go. I should go for a guard or a wing in the first. I think DeLon Wright should be in the rotation as a backup one or two. I think DeLon Wright will be on the team next year. I agree with you. They might want and like Connect for a Struce role. I don't know if he's the pick, but I don't even think he's gonna be able to be there at 15, man. Does the Heat have a first and a second round or just a first? So we have two picks. We have pick number 15 in the first round, and we have pick number 43 in the second round. Um, yeah, man. I mean, we have two first. We have not. I don't know if we're gonna be able to keep both the picks, but but we have two. We do have two picks. So that's what we're gonna be talking about right now. Somebody mentioned Ryan Dunn. He is the best defensive prospect in the class to me. Like Herb Jones comp is spot on, spot on. Uh, Herb Jones, what's it called? Comparison is really good. Herb Jones wasn't even a good shooter in college, and he transitioned to becoming a pretty good shooter in the NBA. And yeah, man. I mean, this is a guy that if you value defense, if he falls to 43, you do not hesitate and you take Ryan Dunn specifically for the fact that he can defend anybody at pick number 43. Like that's a steal. I think he should be a first rounder. Um, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I think he should be a first rounder, but a lot of people think he's going to be a second rounder. Harrison Ingram, more of a project pick to me. This is a guy that I think is pretty underrated, man. Baylor Shireman. Baylor Shireman reminds me a lot of like Joe Ingles. Can lefty shooter, absolute, bucket from the 3 point line. Um, and yeah, man, Baylor Shireman is really, really good. Again, the second round pick, you definitely consider a guy like Baylor Shireman in the second round. Justin Edwards, more of a project to me. Jamal Shed, the best defensive guard in the class. One defensive player of the year in his conference. He's obviously a very familiar name for a lot of college basketball fans. He's been around at Houston for a while. Um, and yeah, Jamal Shed is really good. He's like a leader as well, floor general. He really can't shoot the ball that well, but can definitely defend. TJ McConnell comp I like. This is probably one of my favorite players in the whole draft, and that is Jalen Bridges. This is like your quintessential, like I said, quintessential role player, like typical 3 and D. Mikal Bridges. Not just saying that because they have the same last name, but definitely reminds me of Mikal Bridges. 6'6", 6'7", has a really good, wingspan, can defend, can shoot. In the second round, I mean, he's projected to be 44. We have the 43rd pick. I really like Jalen Bridges at 43. I'm gonna say it right now. He should be getting a lot more buzz. I think he's a fringe first rounder, but Jalen Bridges is a really, really good prospect, man. He has game. He has a lot of game. Um, yeah, I mean, Jalen Bridges is really good, really, really good. Uh, love his game, and Cam Christie, Max's brother. He's just another guy who can really shoot the ball, similar to Max coming out of Michigan State. Keyshawn Johnson is a guy that the Heat actually worked out, man. Um, I like the Jay Crowder comp. I mean, he's very similar in size, stockier, forward, but not the tallest. Um, and he is a guy who can defend and can shoot the ball. Another 3 and D type player. I don't like his defense as much as Jalen Bridges, but can definitely shoot the ball. Um, and can find his way to score. In the NBA. He is a guy that the Heat worked out though, so maybe they like him in the second round, or if he goes undrafted. But I don't think he goes undrafted. I think he's going to be taken in the second round. But this is a guy that I wouldn't mind at 43. Pell Larson, I'll pass on that. Quentin Post, Zion Pullen, another guy that the Heat worked out. This guy like a floor general, game manager. Will make the right decisions. If you want a guy who will just take care of the ball, um, and will not make too many mistakes and be a steady, solid point guard, Zion Pullen is your guy. He's from UF. Um, he's a really good pull-up shooter as well. Can defend. I think he's really slept on. I would have him a lot higher than 50. Um, he's really good. Tyler Kolek would be a perfect backup one. I like Tyler Kolek. Getting a good guard like Tyus Jones. I mean, speaking of Tyus Jones, this guy is compared to Tyus Jones. Zion Pullen, a guy that the Heat worked out, by the way. Um, Wing like is that Funny Smith? Who is that? Dwayne? Oh, Finney Smith. Uh, I wanted Finney Smith at the deadline. Big like Drummond. He's a free agent. Vets with the minimum. Number 15 in a young farm. Okay, I mean, I don't mind that, bro. I don't mind that. Cam Spencer, another flamethrower shooter. Yep. Um, and the rest of these guys are more kind of projects. I mean, Tristan Newton and Dylan Jones. I guess I'll talk about them because yeah, after all of these, I mean, Bronny James. I don't see the Heat taking, but they could. Um, these guys right here, Dylan Jones and Tristan Newton. Dylan Jones is like the David Roddy, Grant Williams, big body, you know, 3 and D, another 3 and D, but he's not, the biggest. He's only 6'4", 6'5". And then Tristan Newton, another guy who's uh, defender, defense first, pretty solid pull up shooter, but not the best, but can get to the paint. Um, so that is like every single prospect that the Heat are potentially linked to. Kind of gave y'all an overview on all that. Before we wrap it up, we're gonna go to team needs. Team needs, and we're gonna go to the Miami Heat and what they have for us. Kevin O'Connor, 15 and 43. So they say that we need playmaking and we need a floor general. Who is your first choice for the second round? Definitely Jalen Bridges out of Baylor. I love Jalen Bridges. I think I would pray that he falls to 43. Um, Pat Riley's continuous post-elimination press conference might be the start of a summer turmoil for Miami as the Heat decide whether to extend or trade a 34-year-old Jimmy Butler. Um, yeah, I mean, Jimmy extension is a big topic. I do agree with that. His extension really, really, really um, kind of depends on where the Heat go this season. Now, I don't really think that Heat want to trade Jimmy. I just don't think they want to extend him right now. So because of that, there's been some friction there. Um, but I think they will get it done. Uh, the Heat often do not play like a top tier team. They've toiled in the play in twice, 2 seasons in a row, and have only won 50 games once since LeBron James left Miami. Bam Adebayo in the middle. Miami's defense has always been a stretch, but the offense is a lot more inconsistent because Tyler Hero profiles better as a six man. I agree. And Terry Rozier is more of a combo guard. Better facilitator should be at the top of Miami Heat's shopping list. I do agree. Facilitating is one of the most important needs. Um, yeah, I mean facilitating. I agree for sure. That's why a guy like Tyler Kolek, a guy like Isaiah Collier, Devin Carter, like these guys who play the lead guard for their team are guys who, I think can be that for the Heat. The only reason I would stray away from Jared McCain is Jared McCain, the thing about him is he is more of he's a guy who played next to Tyrese Proctor and a DJ Wagner, like not a DJ Wagner, what's it called? Tyrese Proctor and somebody else. I think was it I'm not I forgot their the other guard. DJ Wagner was Kentucky. I'm tripping on that. because Jared McCain played at Duke. But he played next to Tyrese Proctor, and Tyrese Proctor did a lot of the ball handling duties, and Jared McCain played off the ball. So I'm not really sure if he kind of profiles as a guy who can really be a playmaker, a floor general for this team. But another need that we should address in this draft is the front court partner for Bam. Jovic has been pretty good, but we need some more, especially with you know potentially Caleb Martin leaving. So yeah, those two areas for sure: playmaking at the point guard position, as well as a guy who can be a front court partner next to Bam. Those are the two picks, two areas that I think the Miami Heat can improve in the NBA draft. So one of them should be taken at 15. One of them should be taken at number 43. And that is what I think that the Miami Heat should do in the NBA draft. Um, De Silva, De Silva would make sense as a guy who can play next to Bam. He can definitely make sense. I mean, he can shoot the ball, he can play make, he can defend. I mean, De Silva is a guy who just doesn't really have any weaknesses in his game, man. I mean, he really doesn't. Like, you know, I guess he's not the most athletic, but apart from that, like he really doesn't really do anything wrong. So I do understand why De Silva is rated so highly because I really do like him a lot too. Like De Silva is one of my favorite players in the whole draft. I mean, I potentially like him over Cody Williams. Like that's how much I like De Silva. But I'm not sure if the Heat will go that direction at number 15, man. I don't know. And I do think, I mean, when I did my mock draft, I had De Silva going before our pick. I had him going to Sacramento at 13. So he is a guy that probably could go, top 14 if a team really likes him because he is a guy that a lot of NBA teams will fall in love with because he just doesn't really make any mistakes. He doesn't do anything wrong, and he's really really just a solid piece. And I think when you're looking at the players in this draft class, you need to find pieces who will be like solid, just solid, good contributors for you. Just good contributors for you. Um, don't worry about upside. Don't worry about potential because this is not the draft class for that. You know, there's very few guys who even pan out whenever you start talking about potential. This draft class is not star-studded by like superstar names or prospects or guys with a ton of upside here and there, but this draft is filled with guys who can be really good role players and complementary pieces to a team that needs them. So when you look at the Miami Heat's needs, yeah, I mean it would be great to get a guy who can pan out to be the next whoever, but players like Tristan Da Silva, Devin Carter, whoever, Johnny Furphy, like these guys who just do and do the right things, play the right way, they are the guys who are going to be coveted in this year's draft. That's why you see a guy like Devin Carter getting so much buzz because Devin Carter will project to be like a role player who's going to be doing a lot of the little things like a Josh Hart, like a Bruce Brown. He doesn't have, superstar potential written all over him. But the reason he's touted so highly in this class is because teams are understanding that you need those type of players to win. It's not just about who has, the most talent or who has the most potential. It's about who can project to be the best contributing player for an NBA team. So that's why when I look at this class and when I go back to the players, um, in this class, again at the top, there's a lot of debate about who is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not about that. It's to me this whole class is going to be defined by what happens towards the end because this draft class, although it's not top heavy, is really, really deep towards the bottom. So um, that's kind of a concluding note I'm going to give. Who do I think the Heat will draft? Yeah, we got to get into predictions. Hopefully, you guys, um, you know, hopefully, you guys understood my point there. But who do I think the Heat will draft is really tough. Really tough. I mean, there's a lot of guys who are going to pretend like they have sources and they're going to be like, oh, I think the Heat will draft X, Y, Z. The true answer is nobody really knows apart from the Miami Heat. And even on draft day, I promise you, guys like Shams, Woj, who like to spoil picks, they will not be able to spoil Miami's pick that early, if they even do. Um, and the reason for that is, Miami always keeps a lot of the things in house. Um, they even like trades, drafts, draft picks, free agency. Um, a lot of things that go in Miami stay in Miami. So not a lot of people will be able to understand, what they're thinking or where their head is at and stuff like that. Um, so that's kind of to preface what I'm gonna predict here. Um, yo, what's up? What's up, Mr. 81? What's up, bro? Um, this is who I think the Miami Heat will draft. I think, unfortunately, Devin Carter will be off the board at number 15, which is a killer for me because he's the guy that I want the most. But at number 15, oh, this is so tough. Can I give y'all? I'll give y'all multiple options. I'll give y'all multiple options. I'll give y'all multiple. I'm just scrolling right now. Let me filter by guards, bigs, wings. Um, shoot, this is really tough. Okay, I think at number 15, I'm looking at one of Isaiah Collier. I'm looking at Tyler Kolek. I'm looking at a guy like Tristan da Silva, and I'm also looking at a guy like um, I don't know if Khalil Ware will be drafted by them at 15 because he did have a lot of motor issues. I'm looking at a guy like Tyler Smith wherever I can find him. I don't even know where he went, but because he's not showing up for guards or okay, he's showing up for forwards. Tyler Smith is more of a dark horse, but if I had a top three, it would be Tristan da Silva, it would be Isaiah Collier, it would be Nikola Topic, who I think they will. I mean, not Nikola Topic, Tyler Kolek, who I think they will go at 15. Who's at 17? Um, shoot, I'm not sure who's at 17. Let me go to the mock draft. Let me actually look at the mock draft to see who they have at 17. 17 is the Lakers because the Pelicans deferred their pick. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, seven. So they have Jared McCain going at 17. They have Tyler Kolek going at 18, so he's not even out of our range. Yeah, I think Tyler Kolek, Isaiah Collier, Tristan da Silva. That's who I'm predicting. If I had to predict, it would be one of the three. I think they'll go big in the second round. I think they will go big in the second round. Like I could see. I don't know if a Deron Holmes will fall, but in the second round, if you're talking about bigs, I think they'll go like also Iguodala could be in play for second round pick. Um, you know, or they can go with the forward like a Jalen Bridges or whoever like a Jalen Bridges, Ryan Dunn wouldn't be a bad option in the second round for them to go. Kevin McCullough, if he falls, there's no way he falls to 46. Kevin O'Connor, I'm sorry, bro. They have Jalen Bridges at 53. Shoot, if he's available at 43, the Heat have to snag him. Let me see what y'all are saying. Shoot, who would you like better on the Heat, Da Silva or Kolek? Um, so tough, so tough. Honestly, just because we need, I think we need playmaking more. I would go with Kolek, but and also because I think that you can get some forwards later on. Like there's a lot of 3 and D guys, a lot of guys like I said, Jalen Bridges, Jalen Tyson, a lot of guys like that. You can get them at 43. One of them will fall, whether it's Jalen Bridges, whether it's Jalen Tyson, whether it is whoever it is, Dylan Jones, like Keyshawn Johnson. You can get a lot more options at the forward position over here. Like this is a very stacked class for forwards. Kevin McCullough, like a lot of guys you can get at 43 who are forwards. Um, I'm surprised they have PJ Hall as a forward. He's more of a center to me. Y'all need Zach Edey, bro. Yeah, Mr. 81. I know you're not a Heat fan, but bro, we don't. I don't think we need Zach Edey, bro. Like, how is Zach Edey gonna play next to Bam? I don't understand why people think we need Zach Edey. Like, Zach Edey is a solid player, but and I know we need some size, but bro, that's just putting guys together for no reason. Like, you can't just fit two Jenga blocks, um, or not Jenga blocks, Lego blocks, next to each other that don't connect. Like Zach Edey and Bam would be a terrible front court for spacing purposes. That's the only reason I'm pushing back on Zach Edey. Maybe as a backup, I understand, but I don't believe in taking a backup center at 15 when center is not even the issue. It's the power forward position. Um, yeah, no, I don't like Edey either, Dash. I don't get it. I've seen a lot of people mocking Edey. I'm like, why? Like, why do we need Zach Edey? I'm gonna keep saying it. I know people might think I'm hating on Zach Edey. It has nothing to do with Zach Edey, but it has everything to do with the fact that if you're gonna draft somebody next to Bam Adebayo, they have to shoot the ball. They have to shoot the ball. They have Zach Edey going 12 to OKC. Who's that player that you said PJ Washington? That's Tyler Smith, bro. Tyler Smith out of the G League Ignites. Where's Tyler Smith at? Right here. Yeah, Tyler Smith. PJ Washington type player to me. Left-handed though. He's left-handed, but apart from that, very similar to PJ Washington. Kolek, right, Jaquez, backup center from the draft. Yeah, I mean we might have to go center first. I mean unless they like PJ Hall at 43, because there's not really many centers at the back end if they want to go center. Um, but I do like that draft though. Kolek, right, Jaquez, backup center. Yeah, I do like that draft. Ideally, we would get a star though. I still think we need a star like whoever's available, which is not that many people, but whoever's available that we can trade a guy like Tyler Hero and a couple of picks for. Um, Apart from Zach LaVine, I don't think it's worth trading Tyler Hero for Zach LaVine because I just think that the way Zach LaVine has been looking over the past 2 seasons, especially coming off of an injury, season-ending injury, I'll pass on that. Oh, you're trying to say who is a player named PJ? Okay, okay, cool. That's PJ Hall, bro. Where is he at? PJ Hall. This is PJ Hall right here, wherever I can find him. Clemson. Uh, he's a guy who. Thing about PJ Hall is he is a guy with a really good touch around the rim. 18 point per game scorer. Um, Post prime Blake Griffin is funny. I actually do think this is a pretty good comp though. Um, Not the best handle at 6'8", but that's fine. He's gonna be playing down low, but he's a good post player. Um, Not an amazing defender, but can play with his IQ. He's not an athletic defender by any means. Shooting is the big swing skill for him. Like he shot 32% from three. If he can up that to 35, 36 in the NBA, then you'll have a really good player. That's the one reason he's not a consensus first round pick. I would like the Heat to draft Oso or Bona. I like Oso a lot. Where's Oso at? Let me go to Oso Ighodaro. Um, where's he at, man? Yep, right here. Oso Ighodaro. Shoot, I mean the thing about Oso is he's very similar to Bam, man, in a lot of ways. He just probably not as athletic, but can definitely be a guy who can play behind Bam. Only problem is he just can't shoot the ball. So if they draft him, he's gonna exclusively be a backup. Same with Bona. Adem Bona, um, uh, actually does remind me of Kevon Looney, like this says. Um, yeah, he's the prototypical rim protecting, rebounding, athletic center. That's really his prototype. Um, he should draft the Cameron guy from Baylor. Cameron, you talking about? It's not Yves Missy. It's not. Who are you talking about, Mr. 81? You're not talking about Jacoby Walter, are you? You're not talking about unless you're talking about Cameron Spencer from UConn. I don't know any other Camerons in this list. Cameron. I'm trying to think of who you. Jalen Bridges from Baylor. Um, you must be talking about Cam Spencer from UConn because he is a really good shooter. Boner reminds me of the Warden Joel Anthony. I actually don't mind that comp. I mean, they got us taking Terrence Shannon at 43. If Terrence Shannon falls to 43, I would not mind taking Terrence Shannon at 43. I mean, I've watched Terrence Shannon more than any of these players because I went to Illinois. Like I've seen Terrence Shannon in person many times. The only problem is what's going to happen off the floor with him. Um, oh, Cameroons. Oh, you said Cameroon. Okay, I got you. I got you. The center. So Yves Missy. I got you. Um, I'll get to Yves Missy. Terrence Shannon reminds me a lot of Kelly Oubre. Left-handed, 3 and D. That's what you need to know about Terrence Shannon, but pretty athletic too. Um, there was off the floor things. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the. He's involved in the case. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. You said Yves Missy, Mr. 81. Again, only problem with Yves Missy is he can't shoot the ball, so he's going to be another guy who's going to be drafted as a backup. Um, but he's like the Derek Lively, I guess, of this year's draft. Just athletic, lob threat, can rim protect. Very, 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 solid center for sure. Um, yeah, wouldn't mind it. Wouldn't mind it. Let me know if y'all have any other thoughts because we're getting down to the end of the video. Um, Joel Anthony is still funny here. Um, let me go back to the mock draft. I want to see what everybody has the Heat taking. So they got Risa Shea going at 1. I think that would be a mistake for Atlanta. But I mean, I guess the Wizards will hit a lick at 2. They'll get Alex Sarr at 2. Klingen at 3, I don't like just because they have Shingun already. Buzelis at 4 is interesting. I don't mind that. Reed Shepard at 5, I think is a good fit. Stephon Castle at 6. I think there's better fits, but yeah, Stephon Castle is the best player available probably there. Topic at 8. Face reveal. It's coming, bro. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I got you. Don't worry about it. It's coming. I've got to get my whole setup and everything, my camera setup. I've been moving around a lot, so um, don't worry. The face reveal will be coming. Tijan Saloon, he is going to Portland. I have him going to Portland. Um, I definitely have him going to Portland. Khalil Ware at 9. Ooh, that's interesting for the Grizzlies. I don't mind that for Memphis. Cody Williams at 10. I like to Utah. I had mocked that as well. I see Devin Carter to the Bulls. I've seen that mocked plenty of times. Um, League sources say that Devin Carter has received a promise somewhere in the lottery. Like I said, this is not made up. Kolek and De Silva are the two choices for the Heat to take. I agree with you. I don't disagree. Um, unless Devin Carter is available. Zach Edey at 12, I think is a tad too high, but especially because Chet is a better shooter, but neither of them are like knockdown shooters. Dalton Connect, I don't mind at 13, especially if they lose Malik Monk. Um, Ron Holland at 14 is a steal for Portland. Yeah, Rob Dillingham at 15 is who they have taking um, the Heat. I mean, I think this would be a dream come true, but I just don't really think there's a chance that he falls this low. Bub Carrington, Jared McCain, Tyler Kolek, Jacoby, Tristan De Silva to the Cavs is a really good fit. Isaiah Collier to the Suns would be nice. Let me see who they have is taking at 40. It was Terrence Shannon, right? They had taken Terrence Shannon at 43. Yeah, Terrence Shannon at 43. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it if we had gotten some size in the first round though. Terrence Shannon and Rob Dillingham is a little, you know, it's a little small of a draft to me. I think we shouldn't get the same. We shouldn't get two guards. We shouldn't get two guards. Who do I think will be the seal of the draft? I'm so glad you asked that question, my guy. Um, Looking at this mock draft, I'm gonna go from the bottom up. First of all, AJ Mitchell at 57, really good value. Um, they have Bronny going to the Lakers. That's so funny. Dylan Jones, Zion Pullen. Okay, this man right here, Jalen Bridges out of Baylor, I think will be the biggest steal of the draft. He will be, in my opinion, the biggest steal of the draft. Some more players though that I think will be steals. Um, Jalen Tyson potentially could be a steal. I don't mind. I don't mind Jalen Tyson over there. I think a guy like where's my guy? Deron Holmes could be a steal. Deron Holmes could be a steal. I think a guy like where'd he go? Tyler Kolek could be a steal if because Kevin O'Connor likes Tyler Kolek, so he hasn't mocked a team, but I've seen a lot of people mocking him second round. If y'all want to see the biggest steals of the draft that I had, go check out my second channel. I posted a video specifically on who I think the biggest steals of the draft would be. Spurs should take Isaiah Collier. I think the Spurs are going to be the team who are going to take Devin Carter at 8. Wow. Interesting take. I mean, if there's no point guards available, I could see it. I could see it. But I think there's better options for facilitating at 8. I'm not. I mean, Devin Carter is not really the facilitating type. I think the steal is Pacome Dadier, Ryan Dunn. I forgot about Ryan Dunn. Pacome Dadier could be a steal as well, but Ryan Dunn for sure. Where's I think I skipped over Ryan Dunn. For sure, Ryan Dunn is a steal, 100% at 37. Where he's projected as a steal. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any other guys who can really be steals here. Um, Zion Pullen could be a steal at 54. I mean, he really has all the traits of a guy who would be a successful point guard in the NBA. What's your second channel called? It's called Hoops Hub. And if you guys go to my last video, I believe it's going to be in the description. If you guys want to check that out, it's in the description of my last video that I posted. The video about Larry Marketing, it should be in there. So um, there should be a link for it. If not, let me just go ahead and post a link in the chat so you guys can just see it. What am I doing? Let me go to my channel, and I'm going to copy the link so um, I'll be able to. You guys will be able to subscribe, whoever are not subscribed, because we're trying to get to 1,000 on that as fast as possible. So yeah, do subscribe to that second channel. Let me just post it right here. All right. Hopefully y'all can see it here. This is my second channel for everybody. I do a lot of draft content on this channel, so if you guys are interested in that, go check that out. I want the Heat to draft Tyler Kolek so bad. I would really like Tyler Kolek on the Heat as well. Das. He can give us 18, 20 minutes for sure. He can definitely give us real minutes, real minutes. I like Tyler Kolek a lot. Let me actually go ahead and pin this if I can. I don't know if I can pin this comment or not, but I don't know if I can. I'm trying. 20 points per game in his first year. Oh, 10. Okay, I was about to say cool, 10 points per game. Hopefully, I should be able to see this now. I think I posted it twice in here. Let me see if I can go to OBS and pin. Are you just subscribed? All right. Appreciate it. Yeah, go get those subs in. Go get those subs in for sure. We need to get to 1K. Bro, the thing about this draft that people are not understanding, like when I'm looking at all these players, like a lot of people are gonna be like, bro, like for the Heat, like people are gonna be like, oh, easily just take a guy like Zach Edey, Khalil, where like the problem with just taking guys who are bigs because we need people to play next to Bam, that really just gets to me because I'm like, bro, you guys don't understand that Bam Adebayo needs a specific type of piece next to him, which is why the Lowry Markkanen rumors I've really thoroughly enjoyed seeing. I hope Lowry Markkanen will indeed be traded, but I don't know if the perfect fit next to Bam is in this draft. I think the closest is Tyler Smith at number 25. I think he's the closest. I know people say this is a weak draft class. Do you think it is? What's your opinion? All right, here's the real. Here's the real, Mr. 81. This is what I'm going to say about this draft class. People will say this is a weak draft class, and people will say this is a weak draft class because when you look at the names at the top, with Risache, Sar, Klingon, Buzelis, like anybody over here, you could probably only name two players who you could say are going to be like, superstars, max. And that's fine. If you want to say that, that's okay. First of all, we don't know. This is just projecting. But what I will say about this draft is even though at the top it might not be as star-studded as last year where it had Wemby and the year before that where they had Paolo, or the year before that with Cade, or the year before that with Ant. The thing I will say about this draft is even though it's not stacked at the top, you have a lot of the complementary guys. All of the guys who I'm scrolling past right now, like everybody, even like all the way down to, everybody, actually even like the whole list, like 50 until 58, everybody over here I can see making an impact. Everybody, like I do not see like a lot of years you'll see second round picks just getting stashed in the G League and not really playing too much. This year, like Kyle Filipowski is projected to be 31 to the Raptors. He's gonna get real minutes. Baylor Shireman, Jamal Shed, Ryan Dunn will get real minutes. Jalen Tyson will get real minutes. Oso Iguodala will get real minutes. Terrence Shannon, Kevin McCullough for sure will get real minutes. Like this is one of the deepest draft classes because of the fact that you have role players all over the place who can really just be on teams that need complementary pieces on their stars. This is not, if you're gonna go into this draft looking for a star, you're already gonna fail. Um, if you're gonna into this draft looking for guys you can put around your stars, you're gonna succeed. Were you surprised last year that the Heat drafted Jaquez over Whitmore? Um, no, because the Heat have never been the team to draft, the super talented, you know, player. Like they've never been the one to draft the guy who's been like the right pick consensus. Like nobody expected the Heat to draft Jaime Jaquez. Nobody expected the Heat to draft Nikola Jovic. I think before that, I'm not even sure. Oh, Precious Achua. Nobody expected the Heat to draft Precious Achua at 20. I mean, some people did because Precious Achua did like fit the Heat culture mold, but they've never been the team to draft the best player available. Which is why I'm kind of scared at 15 if they overthink and go with a guy like a Zach Edey, they might mess this draft up. But I trust them with the draft. I mean, whatever you want to say about the front office with the free agency trade stuff, the draft they've killed. They've done really well in the draft over the past few seasons. The undrafted signings have been good. The draft has been good. I can't say anything bad about them in that department. I do hope that they go with the best player available at 15 because there's a lot of options. Um, but we'll see. Do you think we should draft guard in first and center in the second? The only problem with drafting a center in the second is there's not that many really options to go center in the second. I mean, again, we can go through this again, but um, yeah, center in the second, you could go Adem Bona, but again, he's gonna be a backup probably. Same with Oso, same with Ulrich Chomchi. He's like the biggest project in the whole draft. Um, Kyle Filipowski will not fall to 43. So yeah, center in the second is a little tough. Um, do you think Zach Edey can be a future star? No, but that's no hate against Zach Edey. I think he's gonna be a solid player. I'm not a Zach Edey fan. Not only because he went to Purdue, but because I just don't think. I mean, see the thing about Zach Edey, he has to be in the right situation. He cannot go to a team like. I think OKC is a terrible fit for him. I think if you're looking at teams who can really use Zach Edey, like let me go to all the picks right here. Realistic options for Zach Edey, I would say are like I don't know, Toronto. I think Toronto is a good option for Zach Edey because Toronto needs center help. I mean, they have Pirtle, but Pirtle I think will be out the door pretty soon. He's also from Canada, so that I guess that helps. Um, the Pelicans, if they want to move on from Val, the Suns, if they want to move on from Nurkic, the Bucks, if they want insurance for Brook Lopez, the Knicks, any of these other teams, I think will be a good fit for Zach Edey. But um, I think in order for Zach Edey to reach his potential, he needs to go to the right situation, man. He absolutely does. Like I cannot stress this enough. Um, how about the Spurs? I mean, I don't see the Spurs taking him though, because the Spurs have pick 8 and pick 4. You're telling me Zach Edey's gonna go top 10? Like I doubt it. I doubt it, man. I mean, maybe Memphis at 9 could be the highest he goes because the Grizzlies desperately need a center to me. I think they need Donovan Clingan. Um, I think the Grizzlies should desperately try to trade up for Donovan Clingan. Um, but that's just me. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to, but they really need a center, 100%. But yeah, the Spurs, I just don't see Zach Edey on the Spurs, and they already have Vic, so I don't really see the point. Um, any other? Let me see. If y'all have any other thoughts? If not, we're probably gonna wrap this up pretty soon because we went through all the prospects. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna wrap it up here, man. It's been an hour pretty much. I believe it's been an hour, right? Yeah, it's been an hour, over an hour. So good stream, good stream. Y'all tapped in. I appreciate y'all tapping in. I appreciate y'all checking out the second channel as well. Go sub to that. Um, I'm gonna throw that in the description of this channel as well. I mean, not this channel, this video. So it should be in the chat, but if not, it'll be in the description. So you guys go show that some love, man. Show that some love. Um, it's really really good for draft content. If you guys want to see draft videos, if you want to see my takes on who I think the steals are, the sleepers, the guys who are getting a lot more hype than they should, that's all in the second channel. Um, yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up there. Go live more often. That's the goal. That's the goal, Mr. 81. definitely gonna go live more often, especially closer to the draft. It's June 7th. The draft, I believe, is on June 30th. So y'all will see me go live at least once a week. That's for sure. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Um, yeah, man, we're gonna end it right here. Make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Subscribe, man. Go like the video. We only have 2 likes right now. We need more likes than that. Go like the video right now. Before you guys eat your dinner, go like the video. Unless you guys have eaten already. But go like the video, and we'll see y'all later as always. Peace.